Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction of class 10th NCERT book. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we have discussed about the first part of the chapter, that was reflection and light in details. In that part we have discussed about the properties of light, that it travels in a straight line, it also follows the two phenomena, that is reflection and refraction. Then we discussed about reflection of light in details, as the reflection of light follows the laws there are two laws of reflection. Okay, then after that we also saw that what is the property of the image which is being formed in the plane mirror, and after that we saw the various curved surfaces are also acting as the reflectors, as there are two types of mirrors, that is the concave mirror and the convex mirrors. Then after the discussion of this concave and the convex mirrors, we saw that there are certain rules which are being followed for the image formation in the concave as well as in the convex mirrors. Okay, then we have seen that there are various positions of the object where they are being kept, and then we can obtain the different types of images in the concave as well as in the convex mirrors. Then we saw the nature of the image also is varying when the object size is going to be placed at different places. Fine. Then after that we discussed about the second part of the chapter, that was the refraction of light. Okay, so in the past classes I have discussed many things about refraction, that it is a phenomenon of bending of light when it is going to travel from one medium to another medium. Means when it is passing from the rarer medium to the denser medium, it is going to bend, and vice versa also the same thing is happening when it is passing from the denser medium to the rarer medium. The concept is that whenever the ray of light is passing from one medium to another medium, it bends at its boundary where the medium is going to be changed. Then we have seen the different types of mirror, different types of the refracting surface, that was the plain glass slab, in which we have seen the how does this image going to be formed, or how is this bending of light is going to be there in the presence of that rectangular glass slab. Based upon that rectangular glass slab, we have also derived two laws of refraction, that the incident ray, the refracted ray, the normal and the point of incidence, all these lie on the same plane. Then secondly we saw that sine of angle of incidence to sine of angle of refraction, the ratio is always a constant, that is also known as the Snell's law. Okay, then after that we saw that there are two different spherical surfaces, that is also means that we have seen that there are transparent surface which also acts as a refracting medium, means they are known as the lenses. Okay, so we saw about the lens, and at the back side of this you can see the slide which is also showing you that both the types of lenses based upon the curved surface, as we have seen in the mirrors. Okay, so here when the ray of light whenever the lens have the curved surfaces inwards, it is known as the concave lens. Okay, and then the curved surface, if it is outside, then it is known as the convex lens. Okay, so we have seen in details about these types of lenses, that is concave and the convex lens. Then we go on to our today's topic, that is based upon the image, the rules for drawing the ray diagram first, and then we will go on to the drawing of the ray diagrams, how the different positions are placed in of the object, that all the positions will remain same as we have discussed in the case of the mirrors. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you about the positions where they are going to be kept. We'll directly discuss about the ray diagrams which are made with the help of these two refracting surfaces, that is the concave lens and the convex lens. Before forming the image in the ray diagrams, we now first discuss about the rules for drawing the ray diagram. So the first rule says that a light parallel to principal axis always passes through focus after refraction. Okay, now all these laws are very similar to the laws of the reflection, which to the laws of the image formation which we have seen in the in the reflection part. Okay, so this refraction also, the first law says that whenever a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it always passes from focus after reflection. Okay, next, what is that? A ray of light passing through the focus always becomes parallel to the principal axis. Then after that, the third rule is saying that when a ray of light is passing through the optical center, it is not going to change with its path. It is going to cross that lens if it is passing from the center, means it is passing from the optical center. Now we'll see these rules one by one in the next slide. So this slide is showing you the rules which is being used for the formation of images in the lenses. Now here I am going to show you both the diagrams of means both the lenses where they are being used, in the concave lens as well as in the convex lens. So in the concave lens what happens, and in the convex lens the rule remains same. Okay, that is, a ray of light passing from the parallel to principal axis means it is passing from the focus after reflection of the concave mirror. It is going to go parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so this rule is saying that a ray of light, when it is from coming from the object which is parallel to principal axis after reflection, after refraction from a convex lens, it passes through the principal axis, principal focus. It passes through the principal focus on the other side of the lens as shown here. Okay, so next, in the case of convex lens, what we need to see is the first rule, which is saying that whenever a ray of light passing from parallelly to the principal axis, so this is the principal axis, and if a ray of light which is coming from an object is coming parallel to the principal axis after refraction, what is going to happen? So where is this refraction taking place? Again, this refraction is going to take place at the place where this lens is going to be in contact with that coming rays. So whenever the ray whenever the medium is going to change for that ray, it is going to bend. Okay, so what happens? So this ray is going to bend inside this lens, and it is going to come out from the other side after refracting. So after refraction, it is going to pass from the focus. So which kind of focus is that? It is also known as the principal focus, but the focus and the principal focus will remain same. So principal focus is the point on the principal axis which is going to give you the maximum number of the light rays which is going to refract from the same point. So here what happens, the ray of light is going to pass from parallelly to the principal axis, is going to after refraction it is going to pass from the principal focus on the principal axis. Okay, now next thing is that in what happens in the concave lens. In the concave lens, this lens means which is having the curved surface inwards. Okay, now what happens in this concave lens, the same rule will be followed, where the ray of light coming parallel to principal axis is going to be refracted, and after refraction, as it is a diverging lens, it is going to go across this lens, means it is going to diverge from this lens, and when we are going to extend this backwards, we can see that it is passing from the principal focus again. So it appears to pass from principal focus after the refraction in the convex in the concave lens. Okay, so this is going to show you the phenomenon of the bending of light very easily, as and the rule is I think this rule is very clear to everybody, because this rule is very similar to the way to the same rule as we discussed in the point of means we have discussed in the rules of the image formation through reflection of light in the mirrors. Okay, similarly here also the same rule is being followed, but here the case is different, that is the refraction, where we can see the bending of light. Okay, so the first rule again, it is going to say that in both the cases I have shown you that what happens in the convex lens and what happens in the concave lens. So please remember that in the convex lens you can see that the line is going to meet at the principal focus, but here in the concave lens it is going to it appears to meet. That is why this extended line is drawn in the dotted form. Okay, next rule. Now the next rule in the next in this slide is going to show you the second rule, that is saying The ray of light passing through the optical center of the lens will emerge without any deviation. Now this rule is very easy. So what happens to a light ray if it is passing from the optical center? And what is this optical center? Optical center is the same, it is the center of the lens which is present here, which is present at the center of this principal axis. Okay, so it is the center of the lens which is it is known as optical center. Now whenever a ray of light is passing through this optical center, it is going to come out, or it is going to emerge from the next side, from the next other side, without any deviation. Means we cannot see any kind of bending of the path of the light is going to happen. Okay, so this is the second rule, which is saying that whenever a ray of light is passing through the optical center, it is going to emerge without any deviation. Fine. Now next thing is that we can see here a convex lens and a concave lens, both are being drawn. So in the case of the convex lens, what you can see is that whenever a ray of light is going to pass from the optical center, it is going to emerge undeviated from the other side. Okay, so this is the incident ray and this is the refracted ray, both will be in the same direction. Similarly, in the concave lens also, the ray of light which is emerging from the optical center is going to come out from the next side, which is not going to show any kind of deviation. Okay, undeviated. Next, third rule is also saying the same thing, which is just opposite to the first one. So here what does it says? It says that a ray of light passing through a principal focus. Okay, here we will say, think about that a ray of light is passing from where? It is passing from the principal focus. When it is going to strike the mirror, it is definitely going to be refracted. After refraction, it is going to pass parallel to the principal axis. Okay, now this rule is very similar to the first one. It is just opposite to the first one, not the similar one. It is opposite to the first rule which I discussed, that any ray of light which is parallel to principal axis will always pass from the focus. Similarly, here what happens when the ray of light is passing from the focus after refraction, what does it show? It shows that it is passing parallelly to the principal axis. Okay, so this is about the third rule in the convex lens. What about in concave lens? In the concave lens, a ray of light will appear to meet at the principal focus. In the concave lens, after refraction, it is going to emerge parallelly to the principal axis. Means whenever we are going to talk about this concave lens, what happens? It is whenever a ray of light is passing obliquely, it is coming from somewhere. It appears to come from the principal focus. It is going to pass parallelly to the principal axis. Okay, so this is what is about the rule which is being shown in this concave and the convex lenses. Now next thing, I think these rules, with the help of these rules and the same concept, that wherever the two light rays are going to meet each other, the image will be formed in that particular direction, whether it is a virtual image or it is a real image, or it is inverted or it is erect image. Okay, so next we will see the image formation. So these are the rules in the convex lens. Okay, now we will first discuss about the convex lens and the image formation in the convex lens. So before that, so the same rule is going to this is being displayed here in this slide also, that the first rule is whenever a ray of light parallel to principal axis, after striking, it is going to pass from the focus. Okay, so this is in convex lens. Next, whenever a ray of light is passing from the focus, it is going to be parallel to principal axis after refraction. Similarly, the third one, whenever a ray of light passing from the optical center, it is going to cross without bending, without showing any kind of refraction. Okay, so this is about the ray diagrams in the convex lens. Means these are the rules. Now on the basis of these rules only, we are going to follow the ray diagrams. We are going to make the ray diagrams which is in the convex lens first, then we will discuss about the concave lens. So the first image formation, so this is just the image formation which is based upon the places which we discussed in the last point. Okay, now what all places are there for the image formation will remain the same, that whenever the object, it could be at focus, it could be at center of curvature. Okay, so based upon these rules, it will be the same. The points of the image formation will happen at the various positions of the object which is placed on the in the side of the convex lens. So we'll just see the position of these objects which is placed on this mirrors, okay, this lens, in front of the lens, okay. So in the next slide, I just wanted to show you the positions of the object which is placed at various with these 6 positions where the object is going to be placed and the image will be obtained. So the first is the position of the object is at infinity, then second one will be it is beyond 2f, then at 2f1, then it is between the f1 and 2f1, then object could be placed at the focus, okay. So it could be placed at principal focus, and lastly the object could be placed at the focus and the optical center, okay. So these are the 6 positions upon which the objects are placed, and then we can obtain the various images which is being placed in this convex lens, okay. Now we'll move on to the first image formation which is being shown in this convex lens. So it is just the demo of the image formations, means I have taken only these 2 images, and then we'll discuss all these things in all these image formation in details. So the first image formation is of the object which is placed between optical center and the focus, okay. So the image formation which is taking place at the optical center, between optical center and focus, means somewhere here this object is placed. Now again, the first rule, when the ray of light parallel to principal axis will always pass from focus after refraction. Similarly, the next rule, the ray of light which is passing from optical center, it is going to refract, it is going to be passed on from the optical center after without any deviation, okay. So this is about the image formation of the object when it is placed between focus and optical center, okay. So next what we have to do, we will extend these 2 lines. We'll see that somewhere at the back side of this mirror, it is going to back side of the object, it is going to meet somewhere. So here you can see that the image formation is virtual, erect and magnified, and it is virtual. Why? Because it is formed at the back side of the lens, okay. So from where the object is being placed, it is formed there. If it would have formed on the opposite side, then it will be a real inverted image, okay, because it is formed on the same axis, it is perpendicular to the principal axis. That is why it is a virtual image. Now next is about one object we will keep at that place where we will obtain a real and inverted image. So how that image is obtained, let's see. So we have chosen this place that is between f and 2f of this object, where whenever we are keeping the object at f and 2f means it is placed between focus and the center of curvature. Because so what kind of image we are going to obtain? So how this image will be formed? The same rules. So first the object is being placed here, and then a ray of light parallel to principal axis after refraction, means it is going to strike the mirror, it will be refracted, and once it is refracted, it is going to pass on from the principal focus, okay. Next what will happen, if the ray of light is passing from the optical center, it is passed on undeviated without any deviation from the other side of the lens. So where these 2 lines are going to meet, it is going to give you the image position, and that we can see that image is real, inverted and magnified, okay. So these are the 2 ways by which you could obtain the virtual and the erect image. Here we could obtain the real and the inverted image, okay. Now once you are seeing it from the next side, you can obtain that what kind of image will be is formed, okay. So I have shown you the image formation on the convex lens as 2 examples. Now we go on to each and every object, means position of the object, where it is being placed, and how the image is being formed, and what kind of image nature of that image will be, nature of the image formation will be there, okay. So we go on to the each and every position of the object one by one. So the first position which we select is the infinity, when the object is placed at infinity. Infinity means, again I am going to tell you the same thing, infinity means it is very far off, means we don't know, we cannot see the object, it is placed somewhere very far off from the optical center, okay. So we will see that there are numerous of rays which are coming from the object, and that will be parallel to the principal axis. Now once all of these rays are going to refract from the mirror and from this lens, and then after the refraction, what you are going to see, we will see see that it is going to cross, it is going to fall at the principal focus. So what kind of image it will be? The image formed will be highly diminished. Why highly diminished? Because it is formed at focus and you cannot even see the image. So it will be very diminished. Next thing is that it will be formed at focus. As you could see that the position of the object will position of the images will be at focus. And then what kind of image it will be? It will be a real and inverted image. Yes, because wherever the two rays are going to meet, then the image will be formed. There only the image will be formed, and in this case the image is always real and inverted. Okay. So next we go on to the next position of the object, that is the place of the, we have placed the object beyond to f1. Beyond to f1 means this one. So it is beyond center of curvature, that is if we are keeping this object here. Now we follow the first rule, that is whenever the ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it is going to strike the lens, it is going to refract, and then after refraction it is going to pass from the focus. Okay. Next thing is that whenever the ray of light passing from the optical center, it is going to pass undeviated from the another side. Now we can see that there the two rays of light are going to meet, there only the image will be formed. And in this case, what kind of image is formed? The image will be smaller than that of the object. Okay, as you could see here in the diagram, I just rub it off so that you will be able to see that what kind of image is obtained here. So here the image which is being formed is smaller than object, and it is between f and 2f. Okay, so the next side, it is between f and 2f. This is f, this is 2f. So this image is obtained in between the f and 2f position. Okay, so we need to write the three things about the image formation, that is when we have to write the nature, the position, and the size of the image. So these three things we always have to write for each and every ray diagram. So please remember that what is the nature. For giving the nature, we have to use whether the object is real inverted. For position, we need to show the image is formed between at what point, means it is at focus, it is between center of curvature, it is between f and 2f. Okay, and what is the size? It is diminished, or it is enlarged, or it is smaller than that of the object. Next thing is next what we'll discuss will be the next position of the object. It is at 2f1. Okay, so where is the object kept? The object is kept at 2f1, here at the center of curvature. Okay, so this is C. You could write 2C, because there are two center of curvatures. Why? Because lens is always obtained from two hollow spheres of the glass. Okay, so here we could see that there are two center of curvature, there are two focus, okay, and one optical center, because we have joined those two parts, which is being obtained from that hollow lens. Okay, for hollow sphere of the glass. Fine. Now when the object is placed at 2f1, we can see that whenever the ray of light is passing parallel to principal axis, it is going to pass from the focus. The same rule, next rule will also remain same. The optical center, the ray of light passing from optical center will always cross the lens without bending, and wherever on the other side of these rays of light are going to meet, it is going to give you the position of the object. Now the position of the object is at 2f dash. Okay, and on the other side of the lens, you could see that the image is formed at the center of curvature. So here when the object is placed at center of curvature, it will be formed at center of curvature on the other side. That is why the image becomes real and inverted. Okay, so next, what will be the size of the image? The image will be of the same size as that of an object, as we have seen there in the case of the reflection also. When the object was placed at center of curvature, the same sized image was obtained. Okay, and here also the same thing is happening, but the difference is that this is a transparent thing for the refraction, so that the rays of light are passing from this they are passing through this lens, and it is going to it is going to make an image on the other side of this lens. Okay, so but the nature of this image will be, the size of the image will be same as that of an object, as the object was placed at center of curvature. That is why here C is being denoted, because it is showing you the same phenomenon as we have already discussed. Okay, next is the position of an object when it is placed between f1 and 2f1. Okay, So what kind of image is being obtained here? Whenever the whenever the object is placed between f1 and 2f1, what kind of image is obtained? Let's see. The rule remains same. Whenever the ray of light parallel to principal axis, it is always passing from the focus. Then a ray of light, when it is passing from the optical center, it is going to meet, it is going to cross that optical center undeviated. Now where these two rays are going to meet, it is going to form the image. Now these rays are meeting at the downward of this principal axis. That is why image will be inverted. Now in this case you can see that image is highly enlarged. Okay, as compared to the object, this image is enlarged. Fine. So this is what is about the image formation of the object when it is placed between f1 and 2f1. Okay, so here when it is placed between f1 and 2f1, what is happening? It is going to form the same image which is obtained, which will be real, inverted, and it will be enlarged, and it will be formed beyond 2f1. Okay, so all these things, all these image formation is having certain they have the certain utilities also. So I'll just discuss all these utilities in the uses of convex lens. Okay, next we go on to the next position of the object, which is placed at 2f1. When the object is placed at 2f1, then what will happen? When the object is placed at focus, remember, then if it is placed at the focus, then what happens? Okay, so this is placed here and at the focus, then the ray of light passing parallel to principal axis is always passing from the principal axis from the focus. Okay, parallel to principal axis, it is always passing from the focus on the other side of this lens. Okay, so and this is how it is going to be denoted. Fine. Yes, so whenever the object is placed at this focus, what will happen? It is going to form the same type of image which is formed when we discussed about the position when it was at infinity. Object was placed at infinity. So here also we'll see that when the object is placed at focus, the ray of light parallel to principal axis will always pass from the focus. Then next is the ray of light passing from the principal optical center. Then what will happen? It is going to make an image at infinity. Okay, so the image which will be formed at infinity will be highly enlarged, and it will be real and inverted. As in the case of the first also, we have seen that it was a highly enlarged object, so the image was formed at the focus and it was real inverted, but it was very much diminished. Similarly, this is just the opposite case of the first part, where the object was placed at infinity and the image was formed at focus. Here the object is placed at focus, so the image will be formed at infinity. Fine. So the image here will be real and inverted. Next is the last position of the object, that is between f1 and optical center. So it is very close to the lens where it is being placed. So when the object is placed very close to the lens, it is a small object, it is placed here, then what will happen? Then same formula will be applied, same rules will be applied. A ray of light parallel to the principal axis, it is going to pass after refraction from the focus. Okay, next thing is that whenever a ray of light passing from the optical center, it is going to pass undeviated from the optical center. It is not going to refract anywhere. Next, we cannot see that these rays are parallel to each other, so they are not going to join anywhere, and we will extend these line backwards, and we can see that this is the only position where you can see a virtual and erect image is formed at the back side of the mirror. You could see that this is formed at the back side of the mirror. That is why this image will be erect, and that is why this image will be virtual, and it is formed where? What is the position of the image? So the position of the image is beyond 2f1, so it is beyond the center of curvature. So this image will be magnified, it will be enlarged. Okay, so this was all about the positions of the object where it was placed and the image was formed. So here it is a summary which is placed which I have shown in the slide. When the object is placed where the image will be formed, so the object which is placed at f of the lens means between focus and the lens means optical center and f on the same side of the object will be formed. It is highly enlarged, virtual and erect. Okay, as we have seen here, this one. Next is that when the object is placed at focus, then the position of the image will be at infinity and it will be enlarged, real and inverted. Okay, so this we have seen when the object is placed at focus. So this was the next. Okay, next is that when the object is between f and 2f, then what happens? So when the object is placed at between f and 2f, again the enlarged, real and inverted image is obtained. Fine. Next is that when the object is placed at 2f, then image will also be formed at center of curvature. Object which is kept at center of curvature, image will also be formed at 2f. Next is that it is of the same size of the object, real and inverted image will be formed. Similarly, when the object is placed beyond center of curvature, the image position will be between f and 2f. Okay, so we have discussed all these things in details as we have drawn the ray diagram. Next, it will be very much diminished, real and inverted image is formed. Lastly, the image will be obtained at focus when the object is placed at infinity, and the image will be highly diminished, real and inverted. Okay, so all these 6 cases we have discussed in details. Now I think it will be very clear for you all, and I hope you all have understood also, as it was the second part of this chapter. Means in reflection we have seen the same things, but that was at the mirror, but here in this case we have used the lenses. Now next is that you need to practice these ray diagrams thoroughly, and please remember that you have to follow the rules which I have told you to, which I have discussed just now. And also this concept of formation of the image is always dependent where the two light rays are meeting. Okay, so the image will be formed at the same place. And you know that solid lines always represent the real image and dotted line always represent the virtual image. So all these things should be remembered while drawing the ray diagrams. Then only it will be very easy for you to draw these ray diagrams. And please draw all the ray diagrams using measurements. If you are drawing just with a free hand, it could be a wrong image formation, because if the lines are not straight, then the image will not be formed properly. Okay, so for scoring marks in your examination, it is very necessary for you all to use a scale for marking all these points and for drawing the ray diagram. Okay, so that was all about this was all about today's video, which was related with the image formation of the by the convex lens. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next lecture and the next topics to be discussed, which is left here in this chapter now. Okay, so children, that's all for today's video. I will meet you all in the next video for the next video to be discussed, the next topic which will be discussed there. Okay, that's all for today's.